Hello everyone, welcome to Lukmaan IAS. This is Takkar Rapid Series and we are discussing in this lecture series 10 MCQs on daily basis. These 10 MCQs are framed on yesterday's current affairs. So throughout the day you are reading the newspaper and daily current affairs related to we can say that different kinds of articles from different sources, and thereafter on the next day you are evaluating that understanding of those articles, knowledge on the basis of these 10 MCQs. Let's try to solve today's 10 MCQs. The lead article is President of World Bank is nominated or elected, question mark. So simply you should know that Indian origin person was recently let's say appointed as the World Bank president. That's why it is in news. And how the president of World Bank is elected or nominated, the person is chosen. Let's try to understand. On the basis of this we have framed the first MCQ here. What should be answer to this one? So World Bank president appointment, we have to understand these two statements and identify correct statement among them. Okay, so World Banks, we are aware about the World Bank. It is one of the Bretton Woods institution. ब्रेटन वुड इंस्टीट्यूशंस जो है IMF एंड वर्ल्ड बैंक दोनों को बोला जाता है. These are formed after Second World War, and yes, World Bank is especially responsible for giving out long-term loans for we can say development purpose, growth and development purpose specifically. So it's very important international institution, and recently Indian origin let's say person, you can see the news here, Jaybhaye will be selected as 14th president of World Bank. That's why this question. Okay, look at the first statement, candidate must be nationals of bank's member countries. So yes, you should know that the president of World Bank is nominated by the members, and that nominated list, the members, it goes through rigorous we can say that scrutiny, and thereafter there is interview also by the directors of World Bank, and after that we can say the person is chosen here. Okay, so it's not elected, rather nominated, remember this, and then appointed. So yes, this is important criteria. The candidate must be nationals of banks member countries. World Bank के जो member countries है उन्हीं से होता है. Second, president of World Bank is elected by the member countries. ये elected नहीं है, nominated है. Second statement is incorrect. What should be the answer here? One only, right? So you should know the process also. Like executive directors follow the selection process agreed by the shareholders, and this process was devised in 2011 or we can say that revised. The process included an open merit based transparent nomination system, and where any national or the bank's membership could be proposed by any executive director or governor. ठीक है, executive director or governor. So they can propose the names, and thereafter let's say due diligence and comprehensive interview is undertaken, and thereafter the person is elected. Remember this process also, and nowadays question is asked on the basis of in-depth knowledge on a particular development in current affairs. So that's why you should be ready with such kind of information. Right. Next question is related to WMO, International Organizations Institutes, World Meteorological Organization. We have to identify the correct statement about this WMO. Now it is very simple, straightforward question. It is specialized agency of United Nations. This is correct statement. Yes, it is true that it is a specialized agency. At present it is having 193 members, and along with that, yes, as the name suggests, World Meteorological, so it is related to meteorology and weather related systems that are let's say focused by this institution. Now next statement, WMO and UNEP created jointly IPCC. Yes, we are aware about this. IPCC के बारे में जब हम पढ़ते हैं 1988 में ये इंस्टीट्यूट तैयार हुई है, and this IPCC is responsible for compiling the data related to climate change. Okay, so it's not a research and development body. It's not involved in research work. Remember that. So first, second, and the naming of cyclones is done under the aegis of WMO. Yes, we are aware that the regional centers are formed for naming of the cyclones. These regional centers are, we can say that, especially for each and every ocean like Atlantic Ocean or Caribbean, we can say, then Pacific and South China Sea, then Indian Ocean. Okay, for Indian Ocean, we are aware that IMD is the designated institute, we can say that, or simply it is the regional center that is responsible for naming the cyclone, and it is having the list given by 13 littoral countries. They give 13 names, each country gives 13 names, so together list of 169 names. In sequence, these names are given to the cyclones originating in Indian Ocean region. So all of these are correct statement, right? Okay, let's move on to the next question. Regarding sunspots, we have to identify the correct statements. Remember that sunspots are those areas on sun's surface which are comparatively cooler than the surrounding air. Okay, they are comparatively cooler. Look at the first statement. These are the regions on the surface which are warmer than the other regions. This is not correct. Cooler. They are formed in the areas where magnetic fields are relatively strong. Basically, these are the areas where magnetic field does not allow the energy to come on the surface. Whatever the heat energy, we can say, that is getting formed there, it does not allow to get on the surface of the sun, and because of that they are comparatively cooler. But this energy inside the earth's sun's surface is accumulated, and many times it comes out with the burst, and this result into solar flares. It results into solar flares or solar storms, we can say. Okay, remember this coronal mass ejections or solar flares, these are very important concept. Already UPSC asked the question in prelims related to solar storms. Okay. Fine. So second statement is correct here, 2 only is the correct answer, right? Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, fine. Now, the superior virtue of Panchayati Raj system lies in the fact that, okay, so yes, basic question is asked on the Panchayati Raj system, PRI, or we can say that the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act 1993. Now we are aware that 30 years have been completed to the Panchayati Raj institutions. We can expect question, and yes, the provisions of this act enact the provisions under Article 40 of DPSP in our constitution. Okay, Gandhian DPSP of organizing village panchayats. Okay, so now let's have the superior virtue lies in the fact that similar kind of question was asked in the prelims 2017 or 18. यही ऐसे ही framing था, but options अलग-अलग थे. Remember that. Now look at the third statement. It allows people to participate in decision making on development activities. Yes, true. Gram Sabha. Yes, it is responsible for deciding on development activities. Then we can say that village panchayat or panchayat samiti. Okay, so all these are executive bodies. Gram Sabha acts as a legislative body at village level and decides on the which activities for development are to be undertaken on priority basis in the village areas. तो ये superior virtue है, हम बोल सकते हैं. Grassroot democracy it is promoted there. Grassroot democracy. Look at the other statement. Social security safety net नहीं है. Local bodies complete autonomy to mobile, ऐसा भी नहीं है. It makes the electoral representative accountable to the people, ये भी नहीं है. Okay, so yes, C is the correct answer here. Let's move on to the next question. Okay, in the context of auroras, consider the following statements, and we have to identify incorrect or not correct statement. Auroras, yes, auroras borealis. formed in northern hemisphere and australis in southern hemisphere या southern pole. ठीक है, तो ये aurora borealis जो है, yes, these are also called as northern lights. अलग अलग नाम है इसके. How they are formed? They are formed due to, we can say that, the kind of solar winds or solar flares, the electromagnetic, let's say, substances that are entering into our magnetic field, but the earth's magnetic field also plays important role there, and these charges or substances, they are entering through polar region and interacting with earth's magnetic field, giving out such beautiful lights. They are called as auroras. ठीक है, northern lights. Fine, now you have understood this. Largely these are found in polar areas. These are found largely in polar areas, but yes, they can extend to some lower latitudes, but not within tropics. ठीक है, within tropics नहीं मिलेगा वो आपको. ठीक है, तो cannot be formed outside the polar areas. This is not correct, because recently in Ladakh such phenomenon was observed. Ladakh is in subtropical or temperate region. ठीक है, polar area में नहीं आता है, तो ये incorrect है. Solar winds and geomagnetism play, yes, this is correct. Nature of atoms involved in the process solely influences. तो solely बोला है या फिर only बोला गया है यहाँ पर, तो we can consider this as incorrect, because yes, it also depends on, in addition to the kind of, let's say, atoms involved there, it also involves, we can say that, altitude. At which altitude they are formed, accordingly we can say that the color patterns of auroras are decided. So we can say it is incorrect. Solely बोला है तो आप हटा सकते हैं ये. Incorrect ही पूछा गया है, so that's why answer is C here, right? ये देखिए आपको दिखाई दे रहा है न्यूज़, लद्दाख में northern lights. Fine. Now about article 371C, we have to identify the correct statement here. And yes, recently in Manipur, the kind of violence we have seen, so regarding that, the constitutional provisions, what are the constitutional provisions, इससे related ये question है. Okay, so yes, let's have the look at statements. It was added through the constitution, in the constitution by 27th Constitutional Amendment Act 1971. So yes, this is true, this is the correct statement, and this provides special provisions for certain states like Manipur here. Remember Manipur के लिए खास, under this governor authorized to provide creation of committee of Manipur Legislative Assembly with the members of hill areas of the state. Now this is not the governor, rather such authority is given to the President of India. ठीक है, and President of India can form such committee of Manipur Legislative with members of hill areas of the state. Now hill areas are designated areas as the President may consider, वो designate किए जाते हैं from time to time. कौन से है वो constitution में नहीं लिखा गया है. Fine, so second is incorrect, first is incorrect. Under the governor, under this the governor is required to make a report every 10 years to the president regarding, तो ये 10 years तो नहीं होगा ना, उसका क्या फ़ायदा 10 years होगा, तो actually it is annual, it is annual report. ठीक है, so third is incorrect, answer here is one only. So let me tell you the let's say importance of whatever the things that are happening there in Manipur. Basically आपको GS3 में internal security chapter है. From that perspective, mains GS3, it is very, very important. We learn about this in basics of internal security, that in Manipur there are 3 communities, largely majority Meiteis are there, then they are, we can say, plains living, they are largely following the Hindu religion. Then remaining hill dwelling people are there, tribal people, Nagas and Kukis. So till the date, whatever the insurgency was there by the Kukis and Nagas against the Meiteis, plain living people. But now whatever the violence that is happening is largely between Meiteis and the outsiders. Outsiders like those who are coming from out, especially the illegal migrants. ठीक है, so illegal migrants from Bangladesh. So local people are fearful that these people are taking all the jobs and all these things. So that's why the conflict that is happening there. So internal security, and along with that GS2 paper polity part, special provisions, also prelims examination, ये special provisions polity में क्या है जो अभी हमने question पढ़ा. Fine. So okay, now you understood किस area से question आ सकता है. Consider the following statements regarding India UAE trade relations. Okay, we have to identify the correct statements here regarding India UAE trade relation, because yes, recently the interactions between the UAE minister, Indian minister happened. So you should be knowing that India UAE had signed the SEPA Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, and that's why it is in news. Regarding some facts related to trade, bilateral trade, UAE is India's third largest trading partner. This is correct statement. Okay, so that is true. Then second, UAE is India's largest FDI provider. ये नहीं सही है, यहाँ पर पता होना चाहिए आपको. So Singapore is the largest one, UAE बाद में आता है उसके. Okay, so Mauritius, then UAE, then USA. Right, and these are tax havens, ये भी आपको पता होना चाहिए. Tax haven, Singapore, Mauritius. Now India is UAE's second largest trading partner, constituting of UAE's 9% overall trade. That is true. We can say that 1 and 3 is the correct answer here in this case. External sector trade related questions are asked sometimes in prelims examination, so that's why we have framed. Now Metis tribe of Manipur is a set of several different tribes. Again, it is in news, that's why the question is asked from the society perspective, culture, ethnic diversity there. Which of the following are among those tribal groups of Metis? Okay, Khuman, Luang and Moirang. Basically all of these is the correct answer here. सारे ही जो है members है उस community के. Okay, and along with that you should also understand that the kind of ethnic diversity we have in Manipur or any other northeastern states, this is very important for us to ensure those diversity is not affected. ठीक है. Now, World Health Organization has lifted public health emergency of international concern for COVID-19. Now, remember that ये कब शुरू हुआ था? December 2020. Okay, not December, sorry, pardon me. December तक तो बहुत सारी चीज़ें हो गई थी, right? January 2020. This was declared, this COVID-19 by WHO like this. तो ये गलत statement है यहाँ पर, ठीक है? ये December 2020 है. Now look at the remaining statements here. We have to identify the correct statement. It has issued the public health emergency declaration 7 times since 2005. ठीक है, 7 times since 2005. That is true. So factually it is correct statement. ठीक है, ये correct है. The declaration of COVID-19 was the first time the WHO announced an international health emergency since an Ebola outbreak of 2019. ठीक है, this is also correct statement. We can say third statement. Now 2 and 3 is the correct answer here. 2 and 3 is the correct answer. Okay, fine. Okay, the last question regarding President's rule. Okay, talking about the Manipur, recently one of the MP urged the President to implement and enact the President rule in Manipur, kind of violence that is going on there. So that's why it is in news. We have to identify the correct statement here. आपने देखा होगा 10 में से 3-4 क्वेश्चन हमने अलग अलग वे से मणिपुर में जो अभी इंसिडेंट हुआ है उसको लिंक करके अलग अलग सिलेबस टॉपिक्स को लिंक करके ये क्वेश्चन बनाए. These are very important. Now it is actually making your let's say perspective broader on whatever you are reading in current affairs. ठीक है, आपको सिर्फ वो आर्टिकल पढ़ लिया बस इतना ही समझना नहीं है, आप कैसे लिंक करना है हमारे एग्जाम से वो ज़रूरी है. Right, so President rule, we are aware about the emergency provisions in the Constitution 352 to 360. 352 talks about national emergency, 356 talks about the state emergency or the President rule, and 360 talks about financial emergency. ठीक है, let's talk about this now. It is imposed under Article 356 on the grounds of failure of constitutional machinery. This is correct. Also, precedent rule can be implemented on the grounds in Article 365. 365 इसी को उल्टा कर दीजिए, देखो 356 है, 365 कर दो यहाँ पर, तो यहाँ पर ग्राउंड्स अलग है. बेसिकली व्हेन द डायरेक्शन ऑफ द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट इज नॉट एग्रीड और फॉलोड बाय द स्टेट गवर्नमेंट, देन देयर कैन बी प्रेसिडेंट रूल इन सच सिचुएशन. Okay, so these are two different grounds for precedent rule. Now it can be imposed only if governor recommends it. No, this is not correct. Only नहीं है यहाँ पर. So yes, one of the scope is that yes, state governors can let's say send such report to the president, but otherwise if suppose president is convinced or satisfied that state situation is such that the state government cannot carry governance according to the provisions of the constitution, then there can be, we can say, precedent rule applied there. ठीक है, so that's why one only. यहाँ पे confusion नहीं होना है, students को इतना ही याद रहता है कि नहीं governor recommend करता है, that's all. Okay, so one only is the correct answer. Fine, so all these questions I hope that it is helping you, and if you are continuing this till the prelims, it is going to surely help you. अब तक हमने 1000 on 13th of May. If you have not registered yet, see अपने पहले के सारे पेपर्स देख लेने चाहिए और वो सॉल्व करने चाहिए. They are going to help you, and then you should give the last all India mock test. Again I am repeating, after 13th you do not solve any MCQ, new MCQ, or do not give any test, क्योंकि लास्ट के 15 दिन में आपको किसी भी तरीके का स्ट्रेस नहीं चाहिए. अगर आपके कुछ क्वेश्चंस गलत जाते हैं, कम मार्क्स आते हैं, तो आपका जो है कॉन्फिडेंस लो हो सकता है, मोटिवेशन डाउन हो सकता है. तो उस टाइम पे आप PYQs करिए, या फिर आपने जो भी स्टडी मटेरियल कंसोलिडेट किया है उसी को रिवाइज करिए. दिस इज द लास्ट मिनट थॉट, और वी कैन से दैट द सजेशन फ्रॉम आवर साइड. Now if you are not registered for Panchasutra, it is the time, and surely you should register, and it is going to help you. ठीक है, fine, okay, let us stop.